Hello. Today we have a notebook. We don't mind what notebook is, but it is a Quest. It is a Greek market OEM notebook. That its problem is that when we press the power on, see, from the keyboard, it does not work. So what we must do in order to fix this, because believe me, it is very difficult to find this keyboard, and without the keyboard you cannot switch on the notebook. So we will try, and I think we will succeed to repair this notebook. We must first remove the screws and the bottom cover. What is the issue here? The keyboard is faulty, and the power switch that is integrated to the keyboard cannot send the message through the keyboard that is being pressed. So what we must do here, we must trace down we must track down, it's the most proper expression, the power on signal. In order to do this, we will switch to the connectivity test with the buzzer. And what is a power button? The power button is a switch that grounds a signal in order for the chip to understand that the power on button is pressed. So we must track down a ground pad on the keyboard, because I will switch to the microscope now. Okay. We must find a ground pad in order to check for the next pin voltage. What is that? I mean, the power button, almost in every notebook, connects a signal to the ground, probably 3.3 volts to the ground. So the most proper design for a keyboard, for a power switch, for a flex cable is to place the ground pad next to the 3.3 signal in order for the switching to be easier, and for the technicians to sort this pad. So we'll try to find a ground pad This is a ground pad, and it is on pin 3. 3, not 3. It is the pin 1 is here. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pin 26 we have ground. So near this ground, we're switching to voltage now. We must find a signal. You see, 1.8 volt. So, in my opinion, if we sort this 1.8 volt to the ground, to this pin, the notebook will switch on. Let me switch to the camera, the upper camera view, in order for you to see. Adjust a little the light because okay. So I'm switching camera. And now what I will do, I will sort with my tweezers the 3 and the 4, 25 and the 26. I think we'll power up that. I was sorting the wrong pin. My eyes were not so were tricked. So you see that what we have done, we have just sorted a pair of sorry, pair of pins. The one is the ground for sure. When we have a switch, the most common thing it is that next to the switch, to the ground, not the anchor ground pads, the digital or the analog ground on a flex cable will be a signal for a power button, if this flex leads to a power button board or something. So what we must do in order to fix this issue is to run a cable maybe on the side of the notebook and fix there power button, a custom power button, something like that. Let me see, let me show you what I mean. You see that? It's a power button, a common power button. That will fit and make our life easier. So I will now try to open a hole on the side. Okay, I'll try to open a hole on this side and we'll talk later. So we're back. I have done the hole. You cannot see that, of course, but now you will. Switching camera to microscope view. You see, I have done a hole in the chassis with my soldering iron, and I have planted a pair of jumper wire that will go to the 0.8 volts. The one of it will go on the not so big. Okay. The one of it will go to the 1.8 volt, I think. We'll find out. It does not matter where the is the one. I think this is okay. We have a soldering point here. We can do the soldering here. So let me switch the tip, soldering tip, because I don't like the one I had previously. So what we will do, we will add some flux. We will add some now we will secure these wires with a UV mask. With a UV solder mask. In order not to be moved. Not exactly what I wanted. Now that we have you got this you got the point of all this, so I will come back when I'm ready. So we are back with this repair. We have placed the button. Now you will see what we have done. Now you will see what we have done. We have mounted with glue the power button. First, we soldered the wires on the switch, and after that we pulled the wires back because we couldn't cut them. You see, we pull back the wires and here is the solder mask that we have added in order for in order to hold in place the wires. We can now remove this. These wires are not conductive to each other because they are enameled. It is a magnet wire that used for sound or transformer windings. So these sorts, wherever the wire is touching, does not affect the area. The only way to be for the conductive enamel to be removed is by heat or scrubbing. So we will add some tape in order to hold down the wires and not to be moved that way. And now I think we are good to go. Now we can test. Just see the button. Here's the button. Behind is the wires, and now we will test the power button and see the results. See, it's open. loading Windows, we are good to go. So, thank you for watching. See you next